Hey Mo, we need to get an intro down for this channel, you know.
Yeah, but what are you thinking, Leigh?
Why don't I rap over the top of it?
Don't be ridiculous. You sound like a northern M&M.
Look, listen to me. Yo, yo, yo. The Munch Brunch in the house, man.
Absolutely not.
Right, what you got in mind?
Let's just keep it simple.
I'm Leigh.
I'm Aim.
We're the Munch Brunch.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another mukbang with Aim and Leigh. We are the Munch Brunch UK. Leigh, tell them what we have on the menu.
We have, I can't call it full English like I want to, because it's not full English, is it? But it is an English fry-up, basically. British fry-up. Then again, if British, Welsh have different things on there, so does Scottish and Irish. Our fry-up, eggs, bacon, sausage, hash brown, baked beans, beeping phones, and Aim has plum tomatoes as well as what I've just mentioned.
The only thing we didn't have is black pudding and mushrooms. I
Yeah, that's
like
pretty much the only thing we're missing. I don't like mushrooms or black pudding.
Oh, how are we all? What have you all been up to?
Oh, we've got bread and butter as well rather than toast today.
Yeah.
Did anyone get caught in the snowstorm yesterday?
Can you actually Adam and Eve it?
Yeah, so last week there was people posting pictures all over the internet of sunbathing. I mean, like literally in Birmingham, which ain't far from us, people were sunbathing.
Yeah.
This week, like 5 days later, we had snow like you'd expect in January or March. It was bloody nuts.
It wasn't like a little bit of snow. It was like a blizzard here, anyway. Not saying that it wasn't like that anywhere else, but here it was just like...
Thankfully, it only lasted a little bit, but...
I made a joke to a few people. I was going to put my decorations back up for Christmas.
I actually had a... Now I mentioned blizzard, it reminds me of something I was going to mention the other day and I forgot. I wonder if you have to... I mean, ignore the hair, guys. I've blow-dried it.
That's a point.
It is big today, isn't it?
Hell!
It's got a bit big. I'm trying a new style. Not this style, not the blow-dried style. I want to start being able to like put it back. But Aim told me years ago today you got to sort of like blow-dry it when it's wet. So I did. It went a bit big.
Obviously, you'd use gel on a normal
Yeah,
toaster.
I forgot to put the gel on. And plus, the camera's actually cutting off the top of my hair. It's got that big. Do you have to have like a weather-sounding surname to be a weatherman or weatherwoman or a weather person? But the other day I was watching the news, the weather in the morning, to see what the weather's going to be like. Bear in mind we had a snow blizzard yesterday, or a blizzard. The lady presenting the show was called Sarah Blizzard.
You're joking.
No. And I thought, I bet if her name was Sarah Jones, she wouldn't have got the bloody job. Because all you got to do to be like a weatherwoman or a weatherman, say, look, there it's going to piss down with rain. Over there you go, sun, bit of cloud, done. Her name was Sarah Blizzard. It's like her parents prepped her for being a weather person when she was older. Yeah, our name's normally Jones. We're going to rename our baby Sarah Blizzard.
Well, I find it weird with your gran and granddad being called the last name.
Yeah, where they're from. Well, you can say
Lancaster. Then now that, so it was like their last name was Lancaster, from Lancaster, and I was like, what?
Yeah, you couldn't make it up really. I mean, you wouldn't see people be called
I find that weird.
Bognor Regis. Jim Bognor Regis from Bognor Regis. What's the chances?
I always cut the ends off the tomatoes.
We're trying a new angle with the camera today, so hopefully you can see the food a little bit better than the last couple of times.
So what do you have on your breakfast then? When you have this traditional kind of breakfast, what do you have? One thing I don't like is black pudding. I just can't get my head around it.
A better question is, what don't you have? Because maybe you have the whole
I'll
lot.
have a bit of salt.
Or maybe there's just like one thing you leave off yours. When I was a kid...
salt on tomatoes.
I thought I'd had it. I've got a cup of coffee over here.
I usually have tea with it, but it's a bit like... I don't do that now, funnily enough.
No. In it, right though, what you said about you add sugar to your tomatoes. I added some sugar to these. I don't know why.
Takes off the bitterness.
Oh, as long as I got it right then. I thought, sure, I remember him saying add sugar to your tomatoes. I thought, well, if it goes wrong, I'm not eating it.
Only a pinch, takes off the bitterness. And then obviously you need to add salt. Because salt, if you don't add salt to tomatoes, I find them extremely bland.
But what do you not have?
Nice.
Oh yeah, they are nice today. On your breakfast, because when I was a kid, all I'd have on mine was sausage, beans, and toast. I wouldn't have egg and hash browns were a thing when I was a kid. In our house, anyway. I didn't have a hash brown until I met you.
No, why?
Or that'd be like when I was a kid at like an Asda cafe or something.
I thought you would have loved hash browns.
I don't know what they were.
That's surprising. Because that's the main thing on your
Yeah,
breakfast.
I do like potatoes and stuff like that. Do you ever get this breakfast from service stations? They know how to charge.
We used to go to, I think it was called the Little Chef.
Mm. Oh, I don't like the ends of sausages.
Yeah, it was called the Little Chef. Have you got a knife? You never
Yeah, you want one?
borrow it a second.
You never want one?
Yeah, the Little Chef.
Keel Service, isn't it? That's like a really famous service station.
That's not far from here. It's probably because you've been there quite a bit since you've come.
I just know the name.
There you go.
I went for a job at a service station one time.
Didn't your mum used to work at a service?
Yeah, called Top Rank, which is like up north. She worked there for a couple of years. Then I went for one when I was like 17, 18. And they'd pick you up because it was a bit out. It was out on the motorway. I didn't have a car. And they'd pick you up in like a minibus and take you there. So I went for this interview. My dad took me for the interview. And basically, like, you weren't allowed a calculator. I'm not bad at maths. But they said, okay, here's a maths test. So I've got to do a math test to get a job working in a bloody shop or a cafe. What the hell? Can't water be using a till? Yes, but you need to be able to work out math on your hand. I was like, love, have you not heard of a phone with a calculator? What are you on about? We use my hand. Let's say I didn't get the job. But then like 2 years later, I got a job working for a bank. So go figure, I can't be that bad at maths.
Yeah, I started working at NatWest.
That was a fluke. I was just applying for anything when I met AIM. Like, to move down here, I needed a job. I remember writing your dad a letter because dad had a business. And I wrote a dad, Steve, like, hello, Stephen. I think I'll probably call him Stephen, or Mr. I'm surname. I'm moving down there. I need to be able to provide for Amy and Tia. Do you have a job? I didn't hear anything back. Knowing your dad now, I can only imagine his reaction.
Oh, I think it was funny when you met my dad alone.
Your dad probably didn't bloody know about moving down here until he got that letter.
Nah.
It was sort of took out of his hands. Your mum just made the decision.
Yeah. I think nah.
What?
I wouldn't have told my dad either.
Yeah, that's definitely not one you wanted to be a part of if you could avoid it. And thankfully I did avoid it. The first time he knew about it, I think, was when I pulled up with that letter.
When you just come to stay for the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And he made a point of not being there that weekend. He worked out, he stayed over at work, didn't he, for the first weekend?
First night.
The first night, sorry.
I mean, even though I was 21, he was like, no.
I mean, I can't say I'll be like with Tia because Tia's had a partner, but she was, she was a female. I don't know what I'll feel like the day Tia has a bloke round here, and I walk out my bedroom in the morning in my boxers, and there's a bloke coming out the bathroom with a better figure than me.
Leigh.
I might feel a bit awkward then.
Leigh.
What?
You never ever was allowed to walk out of my bedroom in your boxers if my dad had been around. He'd have kicked you out.
No, I used to run like across the landing in the middle of the night for the toilet. You'd be like, is my dad around? No, Amy's not. Run. And I'd leg it to the bathroom.
Even now you are saying nothing to me, Dad.
Well, no.
You won't.
I ain't scared of your dad.
You are.
I ain't. He's just very abrupt.
No, I wouldn't say you're scared of him, but I think, like, nobody just says anything to him, do they? Like, it's just not worth the hassle.
You can just say, all right, Steve, do you want a cup of tea? It ends up in an argument sometimes, so it really ain't worth it. I talking about people in houses and stuff. I had this crazy story. I was dishing dinner. It's an old story because I was listening to a podcast from like 2017. There was this.
Who's podcast?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, you
surprising.
Him.
Are you surprised?
Good old Joe.
So it was going to be Joe Rogan. Or Rob Beckett, he's got a good one. All about lockdown parenting hell. Him and Josh Widdicombe. That's really good.
You need to tell me what's his name is.
Well,
Rob
if
Beckett.
you're from England, you know who Rob Beckett is. He's a comedian. He's on like 8 out of 10 Cats and all that sort of stuff. And Josh Widdicombe, he's also...
And Ramesh, he does things with Ramesh.
Yeah, Ramesh Ranganathan.
I love him.
They all sort of stick together like these comedians. Like, they do a lot of shows together. But it's really good. And it's called Rob Beckett and Josh Widdicombe's Lockdown Parenting Hell. And they talk waffle and stuff. But anyway, there was this bloke who was in America a few years back, and he had a CCTV set up in his house. He didn't watch it on a regular. Like, if we had it set up, I wouldn't sit there every day watching it. Anyway.
Oh, I watch ours now and again.
You know, but I wouldn't sit there watching it all the time.
I think after, like, you know, some of the dog napping and the burping, I tend to have a little round.
If you have a reason to watch it, a reason to look at it, I won't do it.
Then again, I don't think our neighbours are very happy with us with the, like, 10,000 voltage floodlight in the garden.
No, you got to be careful. A lot of nutters about. I reckon we've got a couple of here just sitting in our garden watching the curtains every so often. Oh, he's up again. He's gone to the bathroom in his boxers. Take a picture, Pete. Let's get it up on YouTube. Or
Isn't it
Instagram.
amazing how many Pete's Leigh knows?
I know so many Pete's. Dodgy Pete, Dirty Pete, Desperate Pete, Peeper-Tom Pete. Yeah, lots of Pete's. Anyway, this bloke was in America and he's there in his house and he don't think anything of it. And in the middle of the night, he found this out like about a month later after watching the videos back. He'd be in bed, no problem. And the hatch of his loft, or attic as they call them, I think, in America, would open and this lady would drop down out of his attic. She didn't clean or anything, yeah.
I put a cup down then.
He had a woman living in his attic for like, I don't know, a few months. She'd come down in the night, she'd have a shower in his apartment.
Fair enough. She's keeping it clean.
She'd make herself some food, never letting him notice, like he never realised, hang on, where the hell's the malt loaf gone? Or anything like that. He didn't notice any food had gone missing.
Did he have malt loaf then?
I don't know, just made it up.
Oh. It's a bit random thing to say.
And one night, he come down out of his bedroom for the bathroom. She was just there in the kitchen making something to eat, heard him bumping around. She had to hide. And he saw all this on the CCTV afterwards.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently it's all on YouTube, like he's uploaded it all. And
what was you have got a conclusion to this show, Leigh?
well, no, because I'm coming here to eat this.
Hey, you do it all the time.
I'm guessing that he just sort of like discovered her one day. Maybe she'll become his wife, I don't know. Imagine that, like maybe she's really nice, a lovely person, just down on her luck. And she's got a lot of, she's good looking maybe or whatever. Or if it's a bloke.
The worrying concern is how did she get in?
I don't know how she got in. I don't know.
I mean, did you leave the back door up one day? Sorry, I'll get up the loft.
Some lofts, like they get like windows and stuff like that. Lofts and attics that have been renovated.
Does he not put things in the loft? Like, how often did this man go into the loft? Like,
how often do I go up ours?
No, but we've got a lot of things in the loft.
I avoid it at all costs if I can. But like some loft conversions, not conversions, or attics in England, they like, say you got a street of 10 houses, if they've not been done properly, I seen this on Shameless years ago, you can just go into each other's attics. Because there's no wall between to separate them. So maybe like she was lived 10 doors down, got evicted.
So your mum's was like a bedroom, wasn't it?
Yeah, we like converted ours into a proper bedroom in our old house. It was really comfy and somewhere just to go and chill as a teenager.
I meant the second one.
Oh yeah.
Not your mum, it was her bedroom, wasn't it? Yours was more, the other one was more like a what's it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was just saying now.
Whoa!
Sorry, that's going everywhere. Imagine like say it was Aim or me or whatever, and so it'd be bloke if it was Aim, a bloke out up in the loft. What if he was a nice bloke and like you eventually met up with him and he said, look, yeah, okay, I'm sorry I've been hiding in your loft. I did all your dishes. Do you never wonder why in the morning you go up and all the washing was done and I used to sort out your cushions, put them into a diamond shape.
I feel really sorry for her.
Yeah, but like, maybe they'd get together. Like you'd actually feel like sorry for this person. Like, move on in. You don't need to hide in the loft.
No,
Have the spare bedroom.
I think you'd have to evaluate the psychological issues here.
What, if she's a nutter or not?
Because to do that, I mean, I know that the old saying is desperate times call for desperate measures. However, one, again, how did she get in the loft? Did she stake the place out and think, sorry, he's in the boot of the car getting the Asda shopping in, I'll quickly dash up, get the ladder down, get up the loft. Two, she was obviously sort of watching his every move, knowing when he sort of went to bed and everything like this.
The worst would be like when he come down, like, got out of bed when she was sort of wandering around. I mean, I feel sorry for her then, because imagine being in someone's house and somebody get up in the night. That's going to be scary for that person as well, you know?
Yeah, because it depends what he would do.
Yeah. Especially in America, a lot of people have guns over there. Like you're allowed them, ain't you? You're allowed to defend yourself in a lot of states.
Sorry.
What's that funny for? A lot of people have guns. Yes, you can kill people.
No. There was this program that me and my friend watched. And it was a sad story, actually. It was like based around Tourette's syndrome.
But we laugh.
No, he laughed about it, the bloke on the thing.
I know what you're on about now.
Yeah, so, quickly tell you. So, the man actually laughed himself who had Tourette's. So, it wasn't that I'm being rude or anything like that. But he went into, him, his friend, and his other friend, they all had Tourette's. So, they went on a motorhome trip. And they went in, I mean, there was absolutely, the bloke behind the counter, all the three of them came out laughing their heads off because it was funny what he said. It was a small little fishing tackle shop in it's sort of like in, you know, like Lou in Cornwall or something like really small.
Oh, it's really nice, that does.
Yeah. And he went in and he just shouted out, "I got guns!" Like everybody sort of turned around.
Well, you're going to, right? It's like somebody walks in and them idiots who think it's funny to shout, "I've got a bomb!" And you can naturally freak out.
No, but the man behind the counter, he was laughing, and then they come out and they're all the three lads who had the trip. They was like laughing their heads off, saying basically.
They took three? Oh my God.
There was three of them in there, but
That'd been eventful.
And they was just laughing anyway at themselves because it was quite a funny comment that he made because the man's face behind the counter was entertaining. But that's the thing with Tourette's, isn't it? Like, it's awful. You can't
control it.
It's awful for them. But the man did say, he says, after all these years, he says, I have to laugh at myself. Because even I laugh at myself. Like he says, sometimes the things I say, it's funny, and it was just so strange. It was in this little fishing tackle shop.
Yeah.
With no relevance to guns.
That'd be quite funny. T was in the shop, our local shop, a couple of years ago, and there was a lady in there with Tourette's.
No, she didn't have Tourette's.
Did she not? Mm-mm. Just a bit, you know.
No, she... How do you word it?
I don't know.
She had...
A bit violent.
Yeah, she was, God rest her soul. She had, like, something...
Oh, was it the alcoholic? Oh, sorry, I knew who we were on about now.
Yeah. So, I think the alcohol kind of made her, unfortunately, a little bit, you know. And, Tia was buying something, anyway, for somebody as a little gift. Like a water pistol. And, she turned around into Tia. I mean, it was a plastic water pistol. She's like, do you realise guns are extremely bad?
She's a bit, you know, like Aim says, a bit, the drink had sort of affected her over the years. Her mum had to lock her out one day because she started by beating her mum up because she lived with her mum on our old street. And then her mum she come and told us, or Aim and somebody else, one day, she'd come up with this elaborate story how she was like going to move to Manchester to be like this.
Marry the chief of Manchester Police, and she had Princess Diana's wedding ring.
Oh, you shouldn't laugh. But when you're in that situation, you see that person every day going to the shop. I mean, I'd see her go to Tesco, and she'd, you know,
she accused my dad of following her the once, even though my dad was in front.
10 o'clock in the morning, I'd see her in Tesco because the alcohol shop wasn't open in our area at that point. At 10 o'clock in the morning, and she'd be there like buying big bottles of Stella and sticking them in her handbag. She's like, shh, don't tell me mum when she comes in later. I ain't going to tell her anything, love, you look a bit dangerous to me.
Yeah, she did. She accused my dad. My dad was on Crime Watch once. So anyway, sorry about that, I just like, my water went down the wrong way. So my dad was on Crime Watch because someone, you know, them they used to have like the descriptions drawn. Yeah, someone thought it was my dad. Police came and everything.
That'd be terrible, wouldn't it? It's scary, especially if you've never been in trouble with the police. I have like weird little things as a teenager. But if you've never been in trouble with the police and all of a sudden like you're in a position where you're in trouble with the police, that is scary. Me and I went shopping one day to our local village, like a small village in the area. We had an argument over something said, I don't know what it was about now.
I was outside the pet shop.
Yeah, we just got out of the taxi, went in a pet shop, bought some fish food, we had an argument, I walked off, we didn't live that far from this place, I was like, I'm going home, here I am, have the money to whatever, you do the shopping, I'm going home. Set off home, bag of fish food in my hand, police pull me over about 5 minutes later as I'm walking home. Can we have a word, sir? Yeah, what's the matter? We've had a report that you have been involved. I mean, it's like 11:30 in the morning on a Saturday. I've been involved in a fight at the pub down the road. So, really, mate? I've just been buying fish food. I had the fish food in my hand.
Apparently, though, he was the bloke was wet, wasn't he? 'Cause he'd been in the canal. Or
Yeah,
something.
somebody reported, said it was me. They'd seen me passing this pub today. It was him. So the police pulled me over, and they said the bloke they was looking for had been pushed in the canal and was meant to be dripping wet. I was bone dry. I ain't been in nobody water, mate. And they didn't believe me. I was like, I'll ring up. You got to come here now and tell these police officers. Yeah, she didn't come. She can't. You there? Yeah, I'm here, Leigh.
I did in the end because I thought, is he just having a joke?
Yeah, no, we just had a big argument. She weren't interested in helping me at first, was you?
Leigh, I thought, he's trying to like wind me up.
They won't let me go. And they was convinced it was me. I was like, mate, look, my missus is down there. She'll be here in a minute. She'll tell you we've had an argument. We bought some fish food. I walked off. Done. I've been to the pub today. Not 11:30 in the morning.
I mean, that's bad, Daddy, isn't it? Like, this is what I mean.
I didn't get no apology.
There must be, in the justice system, thousands, probably tens of thousands, innocent people out there that really haven't done anything wrong. I mean, obviously, you've got to put your faith in these people, of course. But can you imagine, over the time, you hear stories now and again, like, he's been released after 40 years after they found out he's innocent.
And no amount of, like, compensation, because they have to give compensation if it's wrongful, will ever make up for it. I mean,
that's 40 years of your life gone. And I say 40 years because there was someone, and it was 40 years, and he'd been released after they found out that he didn't do anything wrong.
There was a bloke on TikTok this morning, and I basically said, end that story there. The police officers said, no, our other officers, our fellow officers, have a description of the person or a picture of it. We got to wait here until they get here, and then we'll either decide to arrest you or not. So these other officers drive around just as Aim's getting there, and they said, no, it's not him, Pete. Dodgy Pete, the copper. Pete's like, all right, mate, you're free to go. I was like, really? Inside, you're like, thank God for that. I thought I was about to be arrested for something I didn't do. But at the same time, you're angry because you're like, well, yeah, I didn't do it anyway.
I would have been really cross at that point.
I thought, where's my apology? But this bloke on TikTok this morning, he was out with his kid, taking him to do something or I don't know what. And the caption was on it, was basically, I've lost 5 years of my life to Her Majesty's prisons. Don't get yourself locked up there, because even if you think, oh, it's only 5 years, it's 5 years you'll never get back. I've missed out on so much with my children. I think he was only taking his kid to do a bit of Asda shopping or something. He's like, I've been dreaming this day forever. Aww. He's like, and now I finally got out. He's like, I'm never going back. Imagine how, I mean, we all go out. I mean, I've been in positions where I've been with people who've had a fight, or people have wanted to have a fight. You just think, like, you hit one person, just one, think it's just a street fight, I've had a drink or something like that, silly like that. You just punch them, even if it's in self-defence. If you hit them wrong, or they hit their head on the floor when they come down, or something else it's silly like that, and they die or end up seriously injured, you're going away for a long time.
I don't know. I just think it's
just... What's that you know? What's that mean?
No, I mean, like, sometimes you're in that position, though, aren't you? Like, if I got hit, I'm going to want to hit them back.
It's best just to stay out of the way, but
I don't go inside anything anyway.
I was out with a mate when I was like 17, 18. And his brother was a right prat. And he's like, come on, we're going to have a fight with these bouncers. If they won't let us in, we're going to fight them. It's like, mate, have you seen the size of them? I'm here wearing glasses. I used to wear glasses. I'm about 10 stone wet through.
Yeah, you was them.
I ain't having no fight with nobody bouncers. So I let them go ahead, like towards the door to try and get him. As soon as I see my mate at the time get tucked down to the floor, his arm yanked up behind his back, near enough breaking his arm, and then there's a big bouncer who's like 18, 19 stone, sitting on his back. I mean, I would tell you, my mate was like 11 stone. He was as skinny as a rake. And this bouncer could have snapped his back there and then just by sitting on him. I was like, yeah, I'm old, alright, I'll leave this one. And still went up at the police station, waiting for him to be released, like 4 in the morning. What is stupidness? It ain't worth getting into trouble, basically. So, kids, if you're not, when all this lockdown ends, stay indoors.
Yeah, but he
You'll
used
be grateful.
to like fighting, didn't he?
Yeah, he used to say to me, look, we'll start a fight in this club. Like, I ain't starting nobody fight.
I mean, what the heck?
You can start a fight. I'm going to sit in this chair, having a couple of drinks, quietly, and I'll watch from a distance.
Are you going to explain your eggs to them, what you do?
There's 2 eggs here if anybody wants them in the post.
Leigh does never eat eggs. He just dips in them.
I'm happy to have an egg sandwich. If you do me an egg sandwich or a sausage and egg sandwich, I'll eat it if it's nice. But my eggs I don't like. I mean, they go a bit crispy on the bottom. It's nasty.
Hey, we got a non-stick pan.
Still got crispy. Guess it's sticky in certain parts. Whenever I use it, it gets sticky. Does anyone else's Wi-Fi work against them, like sneakily? Say, I'm not going to work for you. So whenever I get in the bath, you don't notice this because you never listen to music in the bath. I always listen to music in the bath.
I know that Wi-Fi don't work in certain parts of the bathroom.
No, if you're sitting there on the toilet, that works fine. You stood in the bathroom, works fine. The second you step foot in that bath, yes sir, stepped foot in the bath, no Wi-Fi. Stepped out of the bath, started working. So, right, okay, it's working. I'll get in the bath quickly and have a quick bath. As soon as I got back in, stopped working. It didn't work for like 10 minutes.
Maybe it's like an electrical thing.
Maybe it just doesn't like me having a bath.
Maybe it's like, don't go in that bath. Pack it in.
I need to stay out the bath. Or I should have just connected the speaker and then I could have heard it from down the street.
You used to.
I know, but I didn't yesterday. Was your dinner okay?
Yeah, but I didn't obviously have your bread and butter, sorry.
Dear, what ungrateful.
I don't like bread.
She doesn't. She wanted toast, didn't you, to be fair enough? I didn't have time to do no toast.
I wasn't bothered. Like, normally, though, when I do have this sort of thing, I'll have toast. I won't have bread and butter. I don't like butter on bread anyway.
I've been trying my best to stay off it. Bread. It lasted about 4 hours this afternoon.
You've gone back to white bread, I noticed you bought.
I got wholemeal bread. No, that was my idea. I had wholemeal bread for breakfast. I had one slice with egg and beans. So I've had egg and beans twice today.
Oh, God, Leigh.
I had 2 apples. And then I thought, I'll try and eat healthy when we're not doing these videos. Because, you know, let's be honest about it. We only got one life.
I made a Korean soup the other day, didn't I?
You did, Amy. You said, it's not hot, Leigh. And I give it a whirl. I was like, that's a bit warm, man, for 11:30 at night.
It wasn't. I made it, and then the next day you leave it overnight. Oh, my goodness.
To like dissolve the frying pan because how hot it is, or the pan.
No, it was just so nice.
You liked it, didn't you?
Oh.
We're going to make it one of the days for a video. I've got some good ideas. Leaving you on this note, talking about baths. Did you ever... I only discovered this recently. I thought it was just me. But after listening to that Rob Beckett and Josh Widdicombe podcast about parenting, I always thought it was just me who had to sit in the bath with my dad as a kid. I was like, Dad, this is a bit odd. And when I grew up, I was like, can't tell anyone that story. I don't think I'm meant to be in the bath with my dad. Apparently it's normal. So these kids, like these blokes, these 2 comedians, they bath their kids. They jump in the bath with them and bath their kids. Did you ever have a bath with your dad as a kid or your mum?
I think my mum, yeah.
Yeah, well, I used to with my dad.
But my mum and my dad used to bath me. It wasn't like anything weird at that. See, this is what I mean. Like, you've got to be so PC, haven't you, these days? It's like...
Obviously, my mum and dad bathed me, and my mum did, but my dad, if he was having a bath, he'd say, let's save the bath water, stick him in here.
I'll tell you what I do remember. It was a Sunday night bath.
Oh, flipping
Sunday night bath, and I'd be like, oh, for God's sake. And then you get your towel, and then you go down and sit in front of the fire.
It's a nightmare, right? Especially in the winter.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know, because did we used to have baths in the week? And now Sunday was a specific bath day.
I think either water cost a lot more when we were kids.
I don't know what that was all about.
Or we were just very unhygienic, because I never used to bath in the week, I don't think. It was always school tomorrow, Leigh. Get in that bath. And if it was the holidays, you was all...
We did. Well, I don't remember, but I know my mum had always met me in the morning. Like, I'd have to have a wash.
Freshen up, yeah.
Wash my face, wash my hands, just wash it, you know.
I was that lad, I didn't do all that.
She'd get the flannel and she'd move it in my face. I was like, Mum! But then it was like, bath on a Sunday.
Oh,
and then I remember getting my mum had... I remember, like it was coming up specifically to the summertime at school. So then we was had to have summer dresses. Did boys? I think they switched from trousers to shorts, didn't they? And then they was allowed to wear a t-shirt. But then my mum would be like, right, you gotta have the frilly socks. She'd get me like hair. Like I've got like this bow kind of hair bubble in there, but hair bubbles with things flying off it, and
I remember
my hair would be up. And then she'd get me matching this and
matching that.
You gotta have this coat, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's very expensive when we were kids. I seem to, because the only clothes shop I remember was when I was a kid. We had Marx's. We didn't really shop there. I only ever shop at Marx's now when I need the toilet. I don't buy anything. I just go to the toilet there. BHS.
Oh yeah, that was it.
And
British Arms stores.
That's like all my summer clothes. So I'm in school clothes.
And then I'd have to go to Clark's and have my feet measured and all that business. Every time, I mean, I don't know how I did it with Tia, because, I mean, I had a feet measure, but I just kind of knew the sizes of Tia's feet.
I remember that thing, you put your foot on it
Yeah,
and
that's
then you
what
move
I
the
mean.
bar down.
I was always so paranoid I was going to get my toes. But my mum would be so, Sunday night, you got to have a bath, and then she'd lay out all my things ready. So, have you got clean pants, clean socks, clean crop top vest type thing then, right? Put your dress on, and then she'd have all these bobbles, and she'd brush my hair, and then my dad would be like, I want to brush your hair, like, you know, I'll do it. And my dad would just brush, like, I was like, Dad, no, don't let Dad brush my hair.
When Tia was younger, I met her when she was 4, and after a while, when she started primary school, I used to take her to primary school in the morning because I hadn't been getting ready for work. So I'm like, Tia, come on, time to do your hair now. She hated it when I did it. Apparently, I just used to spray it in water and start brushing, and Tia having after a Caribbean hair.
Very tight curls, Tia's hair.
I'd never done hair before. I was like, hey, how the hell did you do this? I was just experimenting, hoping for the best.
I'm glad you said that, though, because it was the same, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sundays.
And it was like a sense of dread.
It was for me, because I used to play out a lot as a young kid in the nicer weather. So on a Sunday, play out in the afternoon, dinner about 5 o'clock, play back out for like another hour, and then if my mates are still playing out in front of our house, come on, Leigh, time for your bath now. For God's sake, woman, I don't want a bath, I want to play.
For me, my Sundays used to be, we'd get up, my mum and dad, I could always smell window cleaner, like, all the time, because my dad used to always clean the windows and stuff. And then, I smell the dinner, and then we'd go to my nan's about 1 o'clock. And then come back, and then I'd see my friend from across the road and get my rollerblades out. It was so much fun. And then we had to go back in and have dinner. And then she'd be like, come on now, you know, we've put it off that little bit more. You've got to have the bath now. It's school tomorrow. And I dreaded it, I did. I dreaded it. And then I had this massive white, blue, spotty towel. That was like my towel. It was the best. And then she'd go, wrap it round you. She'd rub my hair with a towel. And then I'd sit in front of the fire. And then I thought, now I've got to actually get dressed, put pyjamas on. And then it was like all the usual Sunday night TV. Taggart.
Yeah, all that stuff. My mum had way more patience with me than I did with Tia. Not patience, but like, she'd take me everywhere. So we didn't drive. But on like a Monday, Tuesday we'd always go to Beavers up until I was like 9. And then it was Cubs after that. And it was a long bloody walk, in all weathers. And then on a Saturday morning, at 7 o'clock, swimming lessons at the local baths. And whatever the weather, you had to bloody go. And I remember coming out of them baths, soaking wet through, freezing cold, and had to walk home. It was a nightmare.
I remember that in high school we had to have like swimming, and our bath was quite from here to there. Ooh.
Barney, bloody hell, mate. I think he's trying to tell us something here.
Barney,
pack up, you two. I want me
from here to there, it's quite a distance. With wet hair, my hair used to be like right at the bottom of my back, and literally like, oh my god. But I do remember, because my school was quite a distance really from my mum's house, my mum and dad's house.
What is the one that you've pointed out to me? Shut now, isn't it?
No, it's a super school now, Leigh.
The baths.
I wasn't about my school though. It's still a bit of a distance. And like, say if it had been raining, my mum had just high school days, she'd still be there. Like when I was 14, 15, she'd be there at the door with a towel and she'd be drying my hair.
It's funny what you remember. Then you think, right, fuck, it was like 20 years ago. It's scary when you think how far back our memories actually are. So that's why it pays off to write down your memories or record them somehow.
Yeah, I've been journaling, haven't I? I've been journaling for what, I think it was 2010.
Yeah, it was like, well, 11 it would be, it's 21 now.
Well, 2005 I have a diary from. And then after that I stopped because like my uncle passed away and everything like that, so I got a bit like, oh. Then I met Leigh, I did a little bit. I've got some books with some stuff in, but I've got this one really thick journal, haven't I?
Yeah. And
there's stuff in there from like 2010 right up until now. I've really gone for it now, though, haven't I, with this journaling and stuff.
I frowned upon it, like as a bloke, because I don't want to do that. But then I bought one, and I don't write it every day, in fact. But for blokes, don't be soft. You don't write in a journal. But the memories I just said then about Sunday nights and about got cubs and beavers and swimming lessons. If I get to, say, an older age, and maybe, God forbid, I get Alzheimer's or something, that meant dementia, and you forget all these memories, I want to be able to remember them. So if they're written down, you can look back and go, bloody hell, yeah. You might not remember it the next day if you've got dementia. You don't remember a lot of stuff.
If it's not even about that. Memory, my mum obviously can't remember some things. And I just think it's maybe like nice just to have it written down anyway, just so you can just
good sort of look
back. And it's the good thing is the difference with the diary and journaling is that you haven't got to do it every single day. You can do it at specific points to your
something relevant
memory, or it doesn't have to be like a specific day. Like for instance, like the other day I wrote about like the whole COVID thing and like just different bits and pieces. And then if you have like a memory, say you go out on a day trip, maybe the next day, yesterday we went to and we saw this, and scrapbook a picture in there, And
not for everyone, but it's
really, really good. It's really good to do that, to look back on. Barney's having a bit of bacon.
Maybe I will read you a bit of a journal one day, like a page or two of stuff from the past.
I'll show you some of the things. I'll show you my new book that I've got. I have shown before, but I will show you again. Because I've got a new one that I've got, and it looks like the book out of Hocus Pocus, the one with the eye.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, those.
But that one's going to be for like really good days and holidays and things like that. Like I'm going to do that one for specific kind of exciting days,
Got you.
This one's just for everyday use, little thoughts and feelings. And I have thought pages, things that I like, things that I'm scared of, and I just write it down. So for instance sake, I did this in 2010 and I've done it for like now. So on one of them, it's just like freshly cut grass.
A random thing to say.
Yeah, but it's at that particular time I smelt it. And I don't know about you guys, because I'm going to go now, but can you smell different seasons? Like, I can smell the summer air and the winter air. So I'll put, like, smell of summer nights and freshly cut grass. And then things that I'm scared of, like, maybe, like, just, like, anxiety and whatever. And then, like, I've gone back 10 years and I thought, wow, isn't it weird what you thought about then?
Yeah.
To what you think about now.
I know, I agree with that. I mean,
the only thing is with that, it actually has gone to show how bad my anxiety has progressed.
Definitely your anxiety helps you, don't it? Because they recommend you write down these sort of things, like fears and
but like
memories and stuff, like anxiety.
It has shown, though, just how severe my anxiety over the past 10 years has now become. That's the only negative, because in 2010, I was writing things and I look back and I thought, my God, I really didn't worry like I do so much.
You get older, though. Things change.
It's ridiculous. No, I mean like specific anxiety, health anxiety, all that.
I know. Right.
Anyway, give it a go. I will show you sometime.
Let us know. Do you sit in the bath with your parents? Do you still sit in the bath with your parents now? That could be a bit odd. But do you? Or did you? Let us know.
Did you used to have the same Sunday night routines as me and Leigh? Because we was born in 1985, so, in that 10-year period from like 90 or 5.
There were some kids in my school who didn't. They just turned up like, you've not had a bath in the last 2 months, have you? Yeah. Not all parents give a damn like that, did they? But mine did, for definite.
Yeah, I think the main thing for me was definitely uniform shopping and different frilly hair bubbles. My mum used to pick me, like, you had to have a new winter coat. Looking back now, they were stunning. But I used to be like, I don't want them like long. I don't want them this. I don't want them that. And my mum was like, no, you haven't. I was like, oh.
It's a nightmare because like my mum said, okay, it's the summer holidays. One day on Thursday, say we've got to go uptown and get measured up for new uniform. Like, what the hell? I don't want to go uptown. I want to play football and on my bike. Your mum, you go and get my uniform. I'll stay at home and play my mates. No, Leigh, you need to be there to try the clothes on. For God's sake, this is like 7 years old. Right, we're going to go. Me, Aim, and my big hair have got to check out. We need to get this under control.
It's massive.
We'll sort it. I'm going for like the Beavis and Butthead look. Right,
Anyway, guys, remember to be kind, remember to be nice. Comment, share, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on your notification bells. And check out our Munchies Delight blog channel. Check out our Instagram, Munchies in the House. But it is on private, so you'll have to request us. We are trying to get through them all. Also, check out the community tab. And press the all on the notification bell so you don't miss any further videos. And that's about it.
Laters.
Bye, everybody.